सो वेल बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। वंडरफुल दिल अजीज साथियों, आज फोर्थ सेशन है जो पतंजलि के सूत्रास के बारे में। और पहले हम 3 चैप्टर, चौथा या 4 चैप्टर हैं, उसका ये सेशन है। और इसका जो टाइटल था वो इनर प्रैक्टिस जो है वो पावर योगा फॉर इनर प्रैक्टिस सेशन 4 है जिसका। तो आइए, मेरे ख्याल में आप इसको एंजॉय करेंगे, उससे लर्निंग ले सकते हैं, आप सीख सकते हैं। ये सेशन मैंने इसलिए शेयर किए हैं ताकि आप जो सूत्रास के बारे में नॉलेज है आपको थोड़ा बहुत मिल सके। तो लेट स्टार्ट करते हैं। प्लीज आइए अपने मैट के ऊपर।
Welcome to Free at Last, where we come to the fourth and final chapter of
इसका नाम है
Patanjali's Yoga
फ्री एट
Sutras.
लास्ट।
Now, what
टाइटल
I
रखा है
didn't tell
फ्री एट
you about
लास्ट।
the third chapter of the Yoga Sutras is that the cities that Patanjali talks about, these superpowers,
सुपर
are not
पावर्स
the goal of
तीसरे
yoga.
चैप्टर का
We talked
सेशन
about
नहीं
it
किया
in the
इसलिए
previous practices. The goal is inner peace, inner freedom. And Patanjali is very clear to let us know that these cities themselves can be a distraction on the path to yoga. So in this fourth and final chapter of the Yoga Sutras, we're bringing it all together. Patanjali is doing that last element of that adage about storytelling. He's telling us what he just told us. Now, that said, the fourth chapter of the Yoga Sutras is the chapter that has the most variance in the translations between different commentators. So it's very difficult to understand the fourth chapter of the Yoga Sutras, but there's one sutra in particular that I want to focus on, which is the third sutra of the fourth chapter, which essentially says that the same way a farmer plants a seed in his field and creates the conditions for that seed to grow, but doesn't actually make that seed grow, we can't actually make ourselves become liberated, become free inside. All we can do is create the conditions for that to happen. And that is the purpose of our practice. We're putting our best foot forward one day after the next, trying to live the best way possible and attain what Patanjali calls kaivalya, which is samadhi, but eternal. Okay? Is that a real possibility to be able to live in a state of constant bliss all the time? Maybe. But what it really means is simply doing your best to live right, to make decisions that lead to your own inner peace, to stay away from drama, to stay away from toxicity, and to be aware of the situations that you're involved in and the way you're composing yourself in those situations. All of that said, we're going to use this last practice to try to embody a sense of freedom and maybe even a sense of playfulness, since ultimately yoga is not yoga unless there is joy. We're not talking about the joy that you feel when you go to see a concert of your favorite band. We're talking about a deep sense of inner calm and peace, knowing that you're living the best life that's available to you. That said, if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and just shake out your wrists.
सो वेल, आपने नोट किया कि जो योगा बेसिकली आपका इनर फ्रीडम है, इनर पीस है। और आपने खुद ही जो आप ये प्रैक्टिसेस करते हैं तो खुद बॉडी में इंटरनल चेंजेस बिल्ड होना शुरू हो जाती हैं। जिस तरह हम कोई बीज बोते हैं तो बीज ग्रो नहीं करता, बल्कि वो हमारी इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट चेंज होना शुरू होती है। तो ये था। और दूसरा, योगा में जाय बड़ा ज़रूरी है, थोड़ा सा फन होना चाहिए, जाय होना चाहिए, यानी ये ना बहुत ज़्यादा आप इसको सीरियस ले लें। तो इट डिपेंड्स कि आप, लेकिन जो जब आप योगा करें तो उस वक्त एटलीस्ट आपको दरमियान में जोक्स नहीं आने चाहिए। सेशन ख़त्म करने के बाद आप जोक्स वगैरह करें, जो मर्जी करें, लेकिन जस्ट इंजॉय करें। द वे यू आर, यू मस्ट बी फील योर सेल्फ, इस तरह से आप है। तो आइए प्लीज़ अपने योगा मैट पे स्टार्टासना में खड़े होइएगा। लेट्स स्टार्ट करते हैं।
Just start to stir up a little prana, a little bit of that magical energy that makes
जस्ट
us
हाथों को
who we
मूवमेंट
are.
दीजिए इस तरीके से।
Start to feel your breath.
Inhale and
As
exhale
you
through your
continue to
nose.
breathe slowly and deeply, just start to get a little bounce on your heels. I should warn you that there are probably going to be some movements in this practice that are not quite traditional yoga postures, but if you know me, then you know that that doesn't make a difference. We're just here to practice. Start to bounce up and down, get a little daylight underneath your toes, and then just start to let that bouncing travel backwards all the way to the back of your mat, and then bouncing forward, still feeling your breath. Right? And notice what you feel as you bounce. Right? We're not just bouncing for the sake of bouncing. We're bouncing to feel things in our body. Go backwards one more time. Breathing slowly and deeply, still shaking out your wrists. And then coming forward one more time. Right? And then we're going to put a little bit of Jane Fonda into what we're doing right now. So you're just going to, right elbow, left knee, left elbow, right knee. And you're going to travel back to the back of your mat. And you're going to have an amazing time while you're doing it. You're going to think to yourself, this isn't yoga. And then you're going to think to yourself, you know what? Who says it's not yoga? If you say it's yoga, it's yoga. Nobody can tell you what your practice needs to be except you. Backwards one more time, and then forwards one more time, and then let it settle. Take a big deep breath all the way in. Open up your mouth and exhale, let your breath go. And as you inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. And exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, drop into a squat. Let your hips sink down. Shift your weight a little bit left to right. Feel your breath. Lengthen your spine. Now, reach your arms as far forward as you can. Drop your hips as low as possible. If it feels okay to drop down onto your butt safely, do that. If you need your hands, put them behind you to brace yourself, and you're going to come right into our favorite boat pose. Point those toes, lift your chest, breathe. Roll your shoulders back, strengthen your thighs. Now, as you inhale, start to lower halfway down. Heels and shoulder blades hovering off the ground, and exhale, lifting back up. Do that twice more. Inhale, low. Exhale, lift it back up. One more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift it back up. Now bend your knees, put your feet flat on the floor. Hands go behind your waist with your fingers forward. Lift your hips, lean your head back. Rock a little bit side to side. Press out of your shoulders. Press out of your feet. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently drop back down onto your butt. Lift your legs back into your boat pose. Reach your arms forward. This time, inhale, lower halfway down. Let your fingertips come to the floor next to your hips. And as you exhale, lift your legs gently all the way up into a boat pose. And then inhale, roll your spine all the way down. Let your heels come to hover just off the ground. And as you exhale, back up to a boat pose. Do that twice more. Inhale, low. Exhale, lift it all the way into a plow pose. Inhale, roll it all the way out. Exhale, lift it back up to a boat with your breath. Inhale, low. Exhale into a plow. Inhale, roll it all the way back out. Exhale, back up to a boat. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bend your knees. Pop yourself up into a squat with your feet together. So again, if you need to use your hands to press yourself up, do that. And then gently fold all the way forward.
It's very difficult.
Take a big inhale. And exhale, step right into a plank pose. Keep your belly strong, keep your legs strong. Take a big deep breath all the way. And as you exhale, let's lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale to a baby cobra. And then bend your knees, squeeze your heels to your butt. Lift your chest, activate your posterior chain. Squeeze your shoulder blades, deep breath in. And exhale, lower down, tuck your toes. Inhale up to a plank. Exhale, down facing dog. Now,
exhale, down facing dog.
Embody that. Maybe you want to feel a little bit of cat-cow in your lower back. Maybe you want to drop your heels to one side or the other. Keep listening to your breath. And then settle into your down dog. Press out of your shoulders. With an inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step and lightly jump up to the front. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold all the way down. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Bring your palms together as you reach up. And exhale, let your hands come down.
No music.
By your sides. Now again, separate your feet. Okay? Drop down into a squat. We're going to see if we can add a little spice to what we did a moment ago. So you're going to reach your arms forward, drop your hips down. Again, if you need to catch yourself with your hands, do that. Otherwise, just drop onto your butt, lift into a boat pose. Now, as you inhale, you're going to lower halfway down. And as you exhale, hands to the floor, lift your feet all the way up into a plow pose. Pause there. So if you need to watch on your screen to see exactly what's happening, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, just follow along with my cues as best you can. Reach your hands back towards your toes. Catch your big toes with your index, middle fingers, and thumbs. Now keep your legs as straight as possible. Start to roll one vertebra at a time, gently back down to the floor, keeping your toes on the ground as long as you possibly can. So it's a deep forward fold in a reclined position. And as you bring your spine down to the ground, your toes are going to start to move towards your head, a little closer towards your body. And then eventually your toes are going to lift off the ground as more and more of your spine comes down onto the floor. And you're basically trying to go in slow motion as you lift your legs up and you tuck your chin towards your chest. And then you're starting to try to lift your upper spine off of the floor as you press your lower spine down into the floor. And maybe, little by little, if you press enough with your feet and shift your weight forward, you can roll all the way up onto your sit bones. How is that possible? Nice work. Good, you guys. Okay. See, this is the joy we're talking about. It doesn't matter if you stand on your hands. It matters that you have a good time while you're practicing. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, lean forward, pop yourself into a chair pose. Take a deep breath all the way in, and exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step into a plank pose. Okay, this time from your plank, lift your right foot up an inch or two off the ground, point your right toes back. Take a big deep breath in, and exhale, bring your right knee to your right arm. And inhale, reach your right leg back. And exhale, right knee to your left arm. And inhale, reach it back. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose and step your right foot through your hands. And inhale, come all the way up to a crescent pose. Feel the movement of your spine. Feel the movement of your breath. Now sink a little bit deeper. Good. Take a full breath all the way in. And as you exhale, just let your hands come back down to the ground. Step back to a plank pose. This time, lift your left foot an inch off the ground. Point your toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, left knee to your left arm. Inhale, one-legged plank. Exhale, left knee to And as you exhale, lower gently all the way to your belly. Inhale to your active back bend. So hands, shoulders, and chest lifting, knees bending, lifting your thighs off the ground, taking a deep breath. And exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, point your palms. Inhale up to a plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feel your breath. And as we've been doing throughout this whole series of practices, notice the effect that what you're doing is having on your mind, and notice the effect that what's happening in your mind is having on your state of being. You're just trying to observe all of the phenomena that you're experiencing without judgment, without evaluation. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or lightly jump up to the front. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale to a chair pose. And as you exhale, gently drop all the way down onto your butt. Lift your legs up into a boat pose. Now, sometimes the way to get into something is to reverse engineer it. So a moment ago, we rolled from a plow pose up into a boat holding the toes. So now if you need to, bend your knees a little bit, catch the toes, and we're going to go slowly. So you're just going to start to lower your lower back, hollowing out your belly and your chest to let your lower back come slowly down to the ground. Holding onto your toes, keeping your legs strong, and rolling your toes all the way back to the floor behind you in a plow pose. And then seeing if you can reverse out of that. So keep the legs straight. Start to let your spine roll the other direction, one vertebra at a time. Starting to lift your chin towards your chest, strengthening your legs, and just doing the best that you can. Remember, that's really what it's about, especially when you encounter things that seem completely impossible. Digging a little deeper into your body, doing that samyama, that focused, concentrated attention, to be able to figure out how to access new potential. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees, lean forward, come into a chair pose. Good. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step into a plank pose. Now, this time, take a big deep breath. And as you exhale, lower halfway to chaturanga. And inhale up to a plank. And exhale back to downward facing dog. And then do it again. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to a plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, downward dog. Nicely done. With an inhale, raise your right leg all the way up in the air. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose. Step your foot gently through your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale to a crescent pose. Beautiful. Now, take a full breath. And as you exhale, just bring your hands to your hips. Press off of your back foot. Lift your left knee up to your chest. With your left peace fingers, catch your left big toe. Standing as tall as you can. Calmly extending your left leg forward. Feeling your breath. Lifting your chest. Breathe. Now, little by little, see if you can bring your nose towards your left knee. Concentrate. Feel your left toes pressing into the floor. Feel your breath. Take another deep inhale. And then as you next inhale, stand all the way back up. And exhale, gently step your left foot back into a warrior two. So you're bending your right knee, reaching your arms out wide, sinking deep, strengthening your left leg and your left glutes, feeling your feet pulling toward each other. And then flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. And as you exhale, just reach your right fingers out in front of your right foot. Lean forward, right up into a half moon. Breathe.
Half moon pose.
Push your left hip up towards the sky and gently float your right fingers off the floor. Point your left toes. Energize that left leg. Concentrate. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. Gently step back to warrior two. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse again. And exhale, windmill your hands down to the front of your mat. Step back to a plank. And lower halfway down. And inhale back up to a plank. And exhale to downward dog. And again, inhale forward to a plank. And exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale back up. Exhale to downward dog. One more time. Inhale forward to a plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. With an inhale, left leg goes up in the air. Exhale, step that foot through your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale, crescent pose. As you exhale, hands to your hips. Press off of your back foot. Bend your right knee up. Right peace fingers catch your right big toe. Okay, standing tall. Try to extend your right leg forward. Breathe. If you have it in you, see if you can start to bring your nose towards your right knee. Strengthen your right leg. Concentrate. Feel your breath. Stay with it. Take another deep breath in. And with your next inhale, stand all the way back up, slow. Exhale, release your right foot back into warrior two. Okay, bend into your left knee. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. Moving with your breath. Exhale, left fingers out in front of your left foot, coming up into a half moon. Push your right hip up high. Stay light on your left fingers. Breathe. Energize that right leg. Reach back through your right toes. And just feel the stability through your whole body. Take another full breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee, step your right foot back. Warrior two, flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor. Step back to a plank pose. Lower halfway down. Inhale up to a plank. Exhale, downward dog. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale up to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let your knees come down to the mat. Sit on your heels for a second. Now, here's the thing. This is a surprise to you and to everybody here, unless you've done this practice before. This practice is about freedom. Most people love the idea of freedom, but the reality of freedom is that it's disorienting and scary. right now, for the next 60 seconds, I am granting you full freedom in your posture practice. Do whatever you like, okay? And if you're repeating this practice, do something different than you did the last time. 60 seconds. Don't even think about it. Feel. Go. Do it. I'm going to do a camel pose. You're welcome to join me if you have no other ideas of your own, but chances are you might need something a little different. Breathe. This is a choose your own adventure practice. Roll your shoulders back if you're coming into a back bend. Feel your breath. Feel deeply into your body. Feel into what you need. You can stick with one thing. You can move through several things. Take your time. And just notice how it feels to be set free. What do you do with that freedom? Can you enjoy it? This is the most important thing. When you are given freedom, can you actually make use of it? "30 more seconds. Take your time. Feel your breath. Feel your body moving through space if you're moving. Feel the stability deep in your body if you're accessing a solid, stable, static posture. Last 15 seconds. So let your knees come back down to the floor. Sit back in Virasana. Hands folded in your lap, eyes closed. In our practice on chapter 1, Samadhi Pada, we came into this very same posture, Virasana. What does it mean to embody your own idea of a hero? How do you move yourself forward towards your greatest potential when you're given the freedom to do so? Sometimes we need to rest. Sometimes we need to lean into our edges. Partly it involves having the discernment to know what the right thing is for us. Partly it involves having the courage to be able to lean into whatever discomfort might be required in order for us to be able to access that strength, that potential that's inside of us. And sometimes that courage comes in the form of being willing to just sit still and listen. Take another deep breath all the way in. And as you exhale, gently open up your mouth, let your eyes open, let that breath go, and come back into downward facing dog. Feel the pads of your hands pressing into the mat. Feel your hips driving up and back. And with an inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees and look forward. And exhale, step or jump your feet up to the front of your mat. Now, feet about hip distance apart. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Catch your left big toe with your left peace fingers and shift your weight to your right foot. Start to half lift, making a straight spine, and little by little pick your left foot up off the floor, standing all the way up with that left leg straight out in front of you. Good. So coming almost back to where we were earlier, but now you're going to open your left leg out to the side. Coming into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana B. Strengthen that left leg. Really lift your chest. Press down through your right foot, and then gently start to lean your heart forward as your hips lean back. Breathe. Okay. Now take a big deep breath all the way in. And as you exhale, let your right fingers drop down to the floor in front of you. Release your left foot extended back into a half moon where you were on our last sequence. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, bend your right knee, step your left foot back, coming to warrior 2. Turning your palms up, reaching both arms straight up overhead, sinking your hips down, and again, feeling your feet pulling toward each other, leaning forward, reaching all the way out into that big extended side angle pose with both arms reaching out. Take a full breath. And exhale, let your right hand reach down outside your right foot. Feel your way into it, taking your time. Listen to your breath. Take another big, deep inhale. And as you exhale, look down at the floor. Walk your right hand forward. Come back to a half moon. And this time, bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand. Try to catch your left foot. And if you're comfortable with your balance, add your right hand. And notice if there are any internal forces that might be trying to limit your sense of freedom. Fear, aversion to discomfort. Move through that with your breath, just determined to do your best that you can. And then if possible, you're going to start to stretch your left leg back as you reach both arms forward. A powerful side balance, left hip reaching up towards the sky, energizing everything. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Bend your right knee, step your left foot back. Warrior two, flip your front palm, inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor. Step back through a plank pose. Now, feet together. Roll to the right. Raise your left arm up in the air. Vashisthasana. Okay, the pose of patience. Strengthen your legs. If you can, start to lift your left leg up in the air. See if you can catch that left big toe. Coming into Vashisthasana 2. A lot of power here. Concentrate. Lift your hips. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop your left foot behind you. Lean your head back, lift your chest. Reach that left arm way out, arching your spine. Take a big deep breath all the way in. And exhale, flip it back over through a plank pose. And gently lower, halfway down. This time inhale into upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to feel your breath. Feel your rib cage moving. Press your hips up and back. And then with your next inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees and look forward. And exhale, step or jump your feet up to the front. And now inhale, lengthen your spine. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Micro bend your left knee as you shift your weight into that foot. Catch your right big toe. Start to stand up, holding your right leg out in front of you. Good. And then gently opening your right leg to the right. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana B. Lift your chest and strengthen your legs. Breathe. And then very slowly, heart forward, hips going back, concentrating. Leaning into it. Take a full breath. And exhale. Let your left fingers come down in front of your left foot. Release your right foot into a half moon. Moving slowly, taking your time. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bend your left knee, step your right foot back, warrior two. And then turn both palms up, reach your arms up overhead, sinking deep through your hips, lean forward, extend out, feel the power, feel the stability. Lengthen that spine, take a deep breath. And exhale, left fingers down outside your left foot, right arm reaching forward, side angle pose. Breathe. Listen to your breath. Take one more big deep breath in. And then look down at the ground. Walk your left hand forward, coming up into a half moon. And right away, bending that right knee. Reaching back with your right hand, catching your right foot. And if you have the balance, reaching with your left hand to catch your left foot. Kicking the heel away from your butt. Breathe. Listen to your breath, stay calm, stay patient, and if you can, gently start to reach your right leg back as your arms go forward. Feel into your body. Keep doing the best you can. Take another breath, good, and then bend your left knee, step your right foot back. Okay, sink into warrior two, flip your front palm, inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back through a plank pose, lower halfway down. Inhale, roll into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in. Open up your mouth and exhale, let it go. And with an inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or jump your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, bend your knees, drop your butt all the way down towards your heels. You're probably thinking to yourself at this point, I hope we try that rolling from plow pose back up to boat pose again, because I bet now that I'm a little more warmed up and more connected, could probably do it. That's what you're thinking, right? Yeah. Drop gently onto your butt. Catch your toes. Straighten your legs up. Okay, go as slowly as you can. Feel your lower spine pressing down towards the ground as you're pushing up through the balls of your feet, and let yourself start to roll gently all the way back. Slowly into a plow pose, holding on to your big toes, and then little by little rolling your spine, your lower spine, back down towards the floor, starting to lift your legs, tucking your chin towards your chest, strengthening your thighs even more, little by little, rolling yourself up. Breathe. Lift your chest. All right. Nice work, everybody. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just release your legs down to the ground. Okay. Now, I learned a couple new things recently, and I'm excited to share them with you because partly they're fun and partly they help build a lot of strength. So let's do the fun thing first. All you're doing is walking on your sit bones. So you're just holding your hands out to the sides. And you're going to take your right sit bone, lift it up, and pull it back. And then your left sit bone, lift it up and pull it back. And then just do it a little bit faster. All right, might look silly, but you're actually activating your quadratus lumborum muscles, which will really help stabilize your lower back. Once you get to the back of your mat, walk it forward. Okay, this is actually something that a lot of gymnasts do to warm themselves up before they get into their practice. If it's good enough for gymnasts, it's good enough for me. Let's do that one more time. A little faster, but breath steady. Walking it back, feeling into your lower back. Have you ever seen this in a yoga class before? Breathe. But you know what? It's about freedom. Keep that in mind. If your mind is saying to yourself, I don't like this. What is this? That's the opposite of freedom, my friends. Now, put your fingertips on the floor next to your knees. Point your toes. Lift your chest. Straight arms. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your legs up. And then inhale. Let your heels come to hover off the ground. And exhale, lift them up. And inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. This is why you came here today, right? Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 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 One more time. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Did you love it? Come on, you loved it, right? Turn your fingers back. Bend your knees. Okay? And then just lift your butt an inch off the ground. Shift your weight to your right hand. Take your left arm all the way up in the air. Lift your chest. Good. Take a deep breath in. Lean a little bit forward and back. Take another full breath. And exhale, let your left hand come down. And then raise your right arm up. Push out of your feet, lift your chest. Breathe. Take a big full breath. And exhale, let your right hand come down. Now just lean your knees forward. Breathe. Roll your shoulders back. Rock a little bit side to side. Okay, so you don't even know the experience and freedom that we're having right now, because some of you are thinking, he forgot to do side plank on the other side. But here's the thing. You don't need to come forward, everything in exactly the same sequence that you always do. Sometimes you forget something. And then you can go, I forgot that. I'm going to add it in. So let's come into a crow pose. Hands flat on the floor. Knees up into your armpits. Squeezing your heels up towards your butt. Pushing the ground away from you. Drive, drive, drive. Lift as high as you can. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, step or jump back, lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank, feet together, roll to the left. Raise your right arm up in the air. Strengthen your thighs. And now, everything is right in the cosmos. We're doing what we were supposed to be doing. There's no more anxiety. Lift your right leg all the way up. See if you can catch your big toe. Good, breathe, dig into it, concentrate. That's it, you guys. Listen to your breath. Very nice. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let your right foot drop behind you. Lean your head back, lift your chest, reach with that right arm. Take a big deep breath in Exhale, flip it back through a plank pose. Lower halfway down. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your knees come back down to the ground. Come to a hero's pose, Virasana. Hands folded in your lap. Feel your breath. Okay, and then you have 60 more seconds of freedom in your practice. Maybe you want to stay right where you are. Maybe you want to come to an inversion. Maybe you want to come to a deeper back bend. Maybe you want to work on another arm balance. It's up to you. How are you going to use your freedom? Looks like these guys are happy in Virasana right now. Can you blame them? They've been working hard all day. Breathe. Take your time. Okay, so if you're looking for suggestions, we've warmed up a little bit of back bending. One thing that I have been playing with lately in my practice is coming from a wheel pose and trying to work on the strength of the arms and the shoulders. So coming up into the wheel pose, which is a challenge enough in itself, but if that feels okay, you can lift, one leg up in the air, and you can see about possibly lowering your head down to the ground and pressing back up, and then let that foot come down, and try the other leg, and then possibly lowering down, touching your head to the floor, and back up, and then lowering down, and letting it come down slowly, okay? So just something that is outside the box. It's possible to explore if it feels interesting to you. Otherwise, do whatever feels right for the next 20 seconds, and then we're going to wind it down together with a closing meditation. Oh, the world famous child's pose. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, take a cue from Albert. He's a very seasoned practitioner, and when given freedom, he knows how to enjoy it. There's a lot to be learned from that. Good to men, very nice. That's it, Mako. Beautiful, you guys. Yes. We have some very determined yogis here in attendance today. So if you look at them and you think to yourself, who are these people? Well, they're people. They're determined people. They're strong and flexible people. And they happen to be good people too, which is why they're here. But you don't have to be able to do these things, and you don't need to be able to feel bad about that. All that matters, I'll say it again and again, and I'll say it until the day I die, is that you do your best. This is what it's all about. Okay? Take another big, deep breath all the way in, and then gently let it come down, and come back up to sit, and let's just counterpose that back bend for a moment with your right leg out, your left leg in, basic Janu Shirshasana, fingertips on either side of your right leg, lifting your chest, lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, gently fold it down. Just surrendering to the pose. Both sit bones pressing down into the floor. Listening to your breath. Take another big deep breath all the way in. And as you exhale, gently walk it back in, come back up, and then stretch your left leg out. Pull your right leg in. Fingertips on either side of your left leg. Take a big inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, walk your hands forward, fold it all the way down. Again, just surrendering into it. Forward fold's always a good way of practicing that all-important principle of yoga, Ishvara Pranidhana. Surrendering to forces beyond our control, trusting the process, just allowing ourselves to let go. Take another big deep breath here. And as you exhale, gently bring it back up, and then stretch your right leg out, and let's come to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Okay. So just taking a last moment to bring it all together. Either letting your hands fold in your lap, or putting the backs of your wrists on your knees. Letting your eyes close, softening your jaw, pressing through your sit bones, lengthening to the crown of your head, letting your breath go all the way out, and then taking a nice, big, slow, deep breath in, and exhale, let that breath go. And again, breathing all the way in, and exhale, letting that breath go. And one more time together, deep breath in, and exhale, let that breath go. And then just continue breathing slowly and steadily on your own, finding a pace that works for you. And just giving yourself a last moment to wrap your head around what we did here in this practice. And we did some things that were traditional and some things that were off the beaten path. Some things that you may have been able to do and some things that you may not have been able to do. Ultimately, we all have to find our own practice. And there are all different kinds of people in the world, different personality types, different mindsets. And so maybe what I do is right for you, maybe it's not. But for me, this is the practice that has helped me to understand, to the best of my ability so far on my path, what it is that Patanjali was saying in his sutras, that again, he was passing down from the people who came before him. And this is my way of connecting with my understanding of this thing that human beings have been after for as long as time has been in existence, or rather, for as long as human beings have been on earth. This sense of freedom, this ability to lift ourselves up through the muck, to be able to experience the joy of knowing all that we're capable of. Just notice where your attention is going. Keep bringing your awareness as much as possible back to the source. Notice if anything is disturbing you right now or has disturbed you recently. And notice how you have handled that. Have you been able to use this practice of training your awareness to come back to the place inside of you where you are free? Where your Purusha is undisturbed by the vrittis, by the influence of the kleshas, by the activity of the gunas. Let's take one more big deep breath all the way in together. And as you exhale gently, let that breath go. Let your legs uncross and stretch out on the floor in front of you. And let yourself lay down into your final Shavasana of this practice. Letting your palms turn up. Letting your eyes close. Soften your breath. And as always, I invite you to stay where you are as long as you like, as long as you have the time and need the rest, as long as you feel like this Shavasana is benefiting you. Try not to be in a rush. When you are ready to come out of your Shavasana, just take your time to deepen your breath. Bring a little bit of movement back into your fingers and toes, to your wrists and ankles, feeling deeply into your body, and slowly bringing yourself back out in your own time. Thank you so much for joining me for these practices. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope that if this is the first time you've completed the series, that you will go back to the beginning and do it again. See if there was anything that maybe you missed or that you forgot, or if there's something you can do a little differently the next time. This practice is an endless journey, and the deeper you dig, the deeper the magic gets. So thank you for joining me, and I wish you happy practicing and good luck, and I hope to see you next time. Namaste, my friends.
वेल दोस्तों, आपने सुना कि डीपर यू विल गो, डीपर यू विल फील, डीपर यू विल फील, डीपर यू विल हील. तो ये प्रैक्टिस है, बार बार करने से आप इसको अपने जो है वो बेहतर लेवल अचीव कर पाएंगे और महसूस करेंगे. और जितना ज़्यादा आप मेहनत करते जाएंगे उतना आप आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. तो ये इसका एंड नहीं है, ऐसे कंटिन्यूस जर्नी ऑफ योर लाइफ. वेल, प्रैक्टिस कीजिएगा, ख्याल रखिएगा. मेरी अपनी भी प्रैक्टिस मुझे चाहिए इसमें, मेरी भी अपना भी इसमें 100% कंट्रोल बिल्ड नहीं हुआ, तो मैं भी इसको रिपीट करूँगा. पर मैंने आप लोगों की नॉलेज के लिए ये चीज़ें शेयर की. आई होप आप इसको एंजॉय करेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच. अपना ख्याल रखिएगा. अल्लाह हाफिज़. Yoga with Aditya Patra. Very good. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Aditya Patra. हरियाणा गया, पर हरियाणा का अपने साथ इसने कोर्स किया हुआ.